Good afternoon, folks, and thanks for joining us. Welcome to Kickin' It with Tim and the Mechanic. I'm Tim Wheaton, joined as always by the Mechanic, Brandon Cuttino. Brandon, how you doing today, sir?
Doing good, man. Get to talk kickboxing, the best sport out there, baby.
We're talking some kickboxing. Man, look at it. We didn't even coordinate this. This was completely by happenstance. Our brains have melded together at this point, man.
This is why we're the #1 show on the network, baby, because we think alike, and that's how it goes.
It's absolutely true. #1 show on the network, #1 kickboxing show in the English-speaking world, for whatever value that might be. But we got a lot to talk about. We got upcoming fights. We got some fights to cover in the past. We got some breaking news. We got some announcements. Today on the show, we are going to be covering pretty much the entire kickboxing world. We will be covering Glory, K1, Rise, One Championship, even mentions of Enfusion here and there as well. So let's start off with the weird thing. Benjamin Adegbuyi will be fighting at Glory 81 for a chance. It'll be a title eliminator for an interim title against Antonio Plazibat. That title, the interim title fight, will be at Glory Collision 4 in October. Benjamin Adegbuyi is already booked in a fight on the same night. Brandon, what is going on? I don't know how to talk about this.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, and the only thing I can think of is that Adegbuyi already had this fight already set up before they made the announcement of, hey, the winner of this fight will get a title shot at Glory Collision. That's the only thing I can think of. So to me, if Adegbuyi gets the dub, I guess he'll be pulling out of that of his other fight that they already had scheduled, because I'm sure he wants to fight for the title.
I would agree with you. It's a bigger opportunity to fight for an interim championship in Glory. He is already, I would assume that's the case as well. But let's say he does it. He says, like, look, I'm contracted in. I can't break that contract without, getting in trouble or whatever. Let's say that's the situation here. Does Plazibat just get a pass? And he's like, okay, you're the interim champion. Then you technically already beat him as well. So maybe that makes sense. Is that a reasonable thing of just like, Plazibat's the champion? Or do you rebook, like, even though, let's say in that scenario, Jamal Ben Sadiq would have just lost. Do you put Jamal Ben Sadiq in there? What do you do in that scenario?
Yeah, man, like that kind of is a little tricky thing. Like I kind of did forget about that. Like, oh well, yeah, if you already signed the contract, he's in the contract and he's a big name, so that promotion isn't going to just let him go unless maybe they get unless they get some step aside money, as they usually say in boxing. Yeah, you know, to let Adegbuyi. But again, this is all only if Adegbuyi gets the W at Glory 81. But yeah, you're right. Like if he does win, then Glory and him are kind of in a sticky situation, because then you're saying you got Plazibat just waiting there. And to me, it's like you can't reward Jamal Ben Sadiq if he just took an L. So you can't be like, oh, you're coming off was it 2 losses it would be, and then let him get a title shot. Then that means they would have to go to somebody else on the, I guess, in the rankings for heavyweight.
Well, that's why it was always weird to set up. I know why they want to do an interim title, because just like the UFC, it looks better on paper, but every road here leads back to Plazibat is the rightful interim champion. Because, okay, Jamal Ben Sadiq coming off a couple of losses here. He's already lost to Rico twice now?
Yeah, twice,
and he's lost to Plazibat already. Benjamin Adegbuyi. Oh, sorry, Jamal Ben Sadiq hasn't lost to Plazibat, but he's lost to Rico twice. Benjamin Adegbuyi's already lost to Plazibat and lost to Rico 3 times. Like every road here is just like, man, Plazibat should be fighting for the title. Like there should be no doubt at this point. But I get why we're doing an interim title. It looks better on paper. We got to keep the division moving forward and all that stuff. And it'd be fun to see. I like that kind of stuff. Even though like titles don't actually make much of a difference, they are just a shiny belt.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for this stuff. And I will admit that seeing the shiny belt, after 20 years, it's never going to get out of my head. The shiny belt means something, doesn't it?
Yeah. Because also too, I was thinking too, like I can't remember, because Rickers has a fight, but is he fighting on Collision?
You're totally right. He's on the Collision card as a heavyweight, and he doesn't have a fight booked. He's just on the card.
Yeah. So basically, to me, I guess if Adegbuyi gets the dub and he can't fight, to me, I say maybe put Rickers in that spot, and he gets to fight for an interim title.
The crown prince of kickboxing, as they say, coming off 1 win at Glory 78, but was previous to his loss to Tariq, was undefeated going into that, and he's a former Enfusion champion. Got to mention Enfusion now and again, just remind people we're still watching. But yeah, that makes perfect sense. to me, he's already booked for the card. Like, I guess maybe Levy is going to fight the loser of Plazibat and Ben Sadiq, but
No,
again,
you mean Adegbuyi
of
and
Adegbuyi,
I
yeah.
got you. I
But
mean,
again, yeah.
yeah, well, he was supposed to fight, JBS, at Glory 80, and then everything went down. So he's in the conversation.
Yeah.
So that's why, to me, I wouldn't be surprised if everything goes down. Adegbuyi gets the job done, but then it's like, hey, well, you can't fight because you already have this other fight. Then let's let Rickers get in, because again, you can put out former champion.
Yeah.
Came in, he won a tournament right off the bat. His first time in Glory. So I mean, you can use that. You can sell that, and yeah, like I think him and Plazibat would definitely be a banger of a fight. I mean, like I said, dude, the heavyweights, the way they are now, man. They're saying the new one's coming up, man. It is action on action right now.
And I want to say like that might be a better scenario. Just like you said, it's a new era of heavyweights. Whereas guys like Jamal Ben Sadiq and Benjamin Adegbuyi, they fought in the old era. They're on the other side of their career, respectively. Like, all due respect, they are on the other side of their career. Let these younger guys, let the Rigters, let the Plazibats come in, because they represent the next generation of kickboxing. Rico is kind of one of those weird ones where he's beat the old era. He's in the new era now. He's on the other side of his career. Does he beat all these guys, or do you think like Plazibat can potentially get an upset when they maybe face each other 2023? I know there's so many like ifs in that sentence, but
yeah, I will say this. I mean, Plazibat's got power, man. Plazibat has power. You've seen Rico get dropped by JBS. You've seen him get dropped by Badahari.
Yeah.
So I mean, Plazibat and Plazibat just goes forward, man. He doesn't stop. So I mean, if he can drop Rico, and then boom, Rico gets back up, like Plazibat is going to be on him. He's swarming. He's not waiting. So I mean, it is like Plazibat does have a chance to win. I'm not saying he's going to yet. We got to see if the fights get made. But I'm just saying, I wouldn't say if Plazibat does win the title, I wouldn't be surprised.
I love this. I love it that we're just able to talk about divisions in Glory without having to look at any weird drama or behind the scenes issues. Just like, oh man, this division is finally moving forward. We have exciting fights to make in it. More of this kind of stuff, please. I don't want to talk about canceled events or any garbage like that. Let's talk about the fights. All right, Mr. Cuttino, you ready to move forward or anything else on that?
Yeah, yeah, man, we can move on.
This one's a wordy sentence, but I need to set it up, and I don't want to leave any details out. One championship at 1599. 159 held an interim Muay Thai title fight between their kickboxing world champion Janet Todd and debutante Pizza Power Lara Fernandez. It's a fun fight. Janet Todd won a close decision. She won the interim Muay Thai title and then called out the Muay Thai champion, Alicia Helen Rodriguez. Alicia Helen Rodriguez won the title, I believe, against Stamp Fairtex, and then had a child, so she's been on leave for a little while to raise her family. That's great. Do it. But we still have the same drama that you and I have been talking about for how long have we been talking about this? Okay, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Janet Todd still hasn't faced the very clear top contender to defend her title under kickboxing rules. Anissa Mexon is still there. She is still winning. She is clearly the top contender. I don't think we can make sense of this. What do you think? What are your thoughts on this?
So, one, Janet Todd, I don't blame her. She wants to, like I said, she's the interim Muay Thai champion. So she wants to face the Muay Thai champion because she wants to put the belts together. All right. I get that. She wants a unification fight. I get it. Understand it. To me, Janet Todd is a Muay Thai fighter. Like, that's what she likes to do. She likes Muay Thai.
She's a Muay Thai base fighter.
She is a kickboxing champion as well. But I feel like that's not really her focus. But to me, if the Muay Thai champion isn't ready to get back in there, then to me, your obligation it is to defend your other belt. And Anissa Mexon is there. But also, too, though, I think Anissa Mexon's last fight was a Muay Thai fight. So I think Anissa Mexon is just trying to get the fight no matter what. She's basically trying to say, hey, JT, I'll fight you Muay Thai or kickboxing. Let's just square up and meet in the center of the cage. So to me, either way, Janet Todd is trying to go elsewhere, but Anissa Mexon's following her. She's hunting her down, saying saying she came down in weight. She's in the weight class. She's in the weight division. So I mean, to me, I guess again, of course, you gotta let Janet, you gotta let Janet Todd heal up. But again, though, we don't know what is the current champions, come back. Like say, having a child and everything like that. Is she still recovering? Is she back to training yet? And then again, and then it's like, all right, well then, if she's not out for a while, then hey, let's defend your other belt. Or heck, if you want to defend your interim Muay Thai belt, you can do that too. Because Anissa Meskin is right there waiting, saying, "I'll fight you in either rule set." So again, I don't blame. I can't get upset at Janet Todd because she wants to unify the belts. That's what to me every interim champion wants to do. They want to unify the belts. I guess nobody is trying to defend a interim belt, but also too, if you are an interim champion, you want that unification belt because you want to be the undisputed champion. So I can't fault her for that, but I know where you're going, and I know where all the fans going. I know where Anissa Meskin is going. It's like, hey, let's do this. So I mean, which is why, of course, too, man. If Janet Todd is running, then hey, man, strip her of the kickboxing belt and let Anissa Meskin fight for that, and she'll be a champion. And actually, maybe if they're both champions, then they have a champion versus champion fight, and then maybe get more eyeballs that way, more money that way too.
And I do wonder that of like the champion versus champion. I do wonder about this stripping the title, because you could make the argument for Alicia. She's had one fight in one championship and she won the title, and then she took a break. I think it would look bad on paper to strip a champion for having a child. I think that's the reason why they haven't stripped her. But you could make the argument, though I wouldn't.
Yeah. I wasn't saying stripping her. I was saying stripping Janet Todd of her kickboxing title, because when was the last time she actually defended that belt?
Off the top of my head, and I won't look it up, just correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think she's defended it. And she's fought 3 or 4 times since winning it, but she hasn't officially defended that title.
Because I think all her other fights have been Muay Thai fights, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. But maybe that was a different scenario. We had a thinner division where there wasn't a clear top contender. Mexen is a clear top contender and the biggest fight of her career. There's a clear top contender for almost a year now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird situation. You know what I mean? Of like,
yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. Like saying like this is why you got Anissa Meskin, you got her coach / significant other just putting it out on social media, basically saying like, "Yo, we want this fight. Janet Todd should be fighting Anissa Meskin. It's time for her to step up and fight the best of the best. And instead they got Janet Todd fighting some youngin over here. I think girl was just like 22 over here. It's like I get it. Like what I'm saying, like hey, you're a fighter, man. Let's fight the best. If you want to be the best. So I understand where we're definitely Anissa Meskin's coming from, and her coach and everything like that. Heck, man, I've been there myself. Where it's like, yo, you're trying to get a fight against somebody, but they're ducking you, and they're going to other people. But again, I'm not gonna say I know I use the word ducking, but I don't want to say JT is ducking if she's trying to really unify the belts. But
But and how else am I supposed to interpret it in terms of like, at this point, it is both of you have fought since then. There was opportunities to fight, and Janet Todd, like I read a lot of articles on this. She said this fight has never been offered. So I don't know if this is something going on behind the scenes in one, that they've just like, okay, we'll do Muay Thai. I don't entirely know if that's true or not, that she says the fight hasn't been offered, but on paper, it looks like you're ducking your top contender.
Well, again, you got to go with that. I mean, you can't say that, like she can't say that, hey, the fight's never been offered. But then again, also too, have you ever asked for the fight? So that's the other side of it. Yeah, that's the other side. Because you are right. Maybe they didn't offer it, but you could ask for it. You can say, hey, you know what, I want to fight Anissa Meskin. Let's do it. But if you're not calling for it, and because again, one might have their own thing on what they want to do with their divisions, with their champions, So again, but if Janet Todd isn't asking for the fight, then us as fight fans and other fighters can kind of look at her a little funny.
Of like, the division has to move forward. Like if someone else did this, we saying strip the title. Like we have to move forward on this kind of stuff. They almost stripped like Arjun Buller for a lot less than this. I guess he wasn't actively fighting, but it is a weird thing of like, hey, I'm the champion of kickboxing. Can I just take like nearly exhibition bouts in a different category? Like I guess so. that's fine. It's not a big deal to do that, but there is a top contender, and there's all these, like, every conversation we're like, man, I guess it's just weird. Anyway, Alicia Helen Rodriguez has been posting a lot of training clips in the last 2 weeks. 7 weeks ago, she made a post saying soon back in the game. So Helen Rodriguez wants back in the one championship. She probably will defend her title against someone. But now we have a lock of different people at the top of the one championship divisions, and that's at least nice. So we have a lot of people, rather than saying that there's no one there. There's so many talented fighters, and hopefully, I like Pizza Power a lot. She's a cool person, has so much potential. She came in with a lot of international titles. I hope she does well.
Yeah, no, I mean, the fight was a good fight. Like I said, she definitely came on strong in the third round, fourth round as well. You know, but hey, man, to me. I had it where Janet Todd took the first 2 rounds and she took the last round. Yeah. You know, I think you could maybe make a case that the second round was a little bit closer to, you know, you could maybe gave it to her opponent, but I kind of gave it to JT those 3 rounds. But then again, hey, I'm not a judge.
No, and that fair is fair. It's all good. She'll be back. I mean, she's still young. She's a great fighter, still developing. Clearly, this was the biggest fight of her career. She did a really good job in it as well.
Yeah, is it going to be her versus Stamp Fairtex next?
Stamp has said, man, you and I are biased because we like kick sport. I love kick sport. This is why I'm still here. Through the dark ages of kick sport, you and I were still here. But yeah, Stamp has said like she's going for an MMA title. But like, come on, Stamp, come have fun with us on this side, and then you can go back.
Throw some money at her. She'll be back.
Anyway, let's move forward. Upcoming on the next few weeks here, we have Rise 160 on July 29th. We have a super featherweight title on this card with Chang Hyung Lee versus Kamaza. This is the champion. Lee is on a series of losses while sometimes I can't read. Kazume is on a 6-fight win streak. Kazume will also have a size advantage going into this fight. This really does look like the champion is going to lose his title in this one. Am I interpreting this wrong, Mr. Cuttino?
Yeah, no. I mean, what you just said is it sounds like it to me. You know, it look like they're ready for a new champion, and I'm pretty sure Rise would probably like that, since, you know, the challenger is from Japan, the champion is Korean. You know, they're based out of Japan. I'm sure they probably want a Japanese champion. So
I can see that. Why we won't get into it. Anyway, Minazo Kobayashi is back from an international tour by getting beat up in Glory, and she will be on this card as well. Rise 160 on July 29th. Anything on that card that sticks out to you that you want to break down?
Well, yeah. Well, the only thing I just want to note was that I thought Kobayashi was still a champion there, because this is just I guess a non-title fight then.
You know as much as I do on that one, yeah. that's as much as I know.
Because I want to say, because that's why she fought over in Glory, was because they were basically playing champion versus champion. But
yes,
I mean, I guess they were just like, hey, we don't have any contenders, but hey, if you want to still have a fight, you know, let's just have a non-title fight. You know, maybe for her this is a get right fight for her.
You know what? Let me put this through a translator. It does say super fight.
Yep.
And both of them in the photo are holding championships belts from Dok Young Lee. Let's do it.
Crazy. Bro, but did you look at that fight? Did you see what weight class that is? 52 kilos. That's 114 pounds. While in Glory, she had to be 122. Yeah, I'm sorry. I love it. I love the fight. It was good, but man, we knew what was happening when that fight was made.
It was always bad. And when we were talking about it, you and I and like everyone else breaking it down, it was like trying to really frame this in a very promoter sense of like, it's champion versus champion. Don't look at anything else. Like Minazo's coming off losses. She's really outsized in this match, but I mean, good for her. It was great though. And then she got the thing at the end. It was great. Yes. Semifinal, super flyweight, 3 minutes, 3 minute. It doesn't look like it will be a championship fight is my understanding of it, but it is a champion versus a tournament champion is how I'm seeing it here. You know what, folks? I don't read Japanese. I don't even use Google Translate. Well, if we're wrong, please update us down below. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your
comments, baby. We love hearing from you guys.
And like Brandon, I never pretended to be an expert. Sometimes we're going to get these things wrong. I'm a fan and I want to talk about the sport. I want to cover the sport. Sometimes I'll say things that are wrong, just like I should have had a joke on deck. That would have been a good time for a good joke. Anyway, KRUSH 139 is coming up the next day on July 30th with the KRUSH bantamweight title fight between Koji Ikeda and Noda Ioe on that card. Do you have any prediction, any thoughts on this fight going in, or any of the other fights on the card that stick out to you?
Yeah, no. For KRUSH, now I want to say with this one, I think it's going to be and still. I think the champ is going to keep his belt. Like I said, man, he's hard to get the belt, so I think he's gonna keep it, But I mean, either way, though, I mean, to me, KRUSH, like I think KRUSH doesn't get as much love as it should because again, it kind of is like because K1, I mean, it's a part of K1, but yes, to me, like these people that are in KRUSH, soon you will know them in K1. So like to me, you should kind of like I guess follow them as well because to me, man, they're pretty entertaining as well.
Yeah. Oh, wait, KRUSH has some amazing shows. KRUSH has had some of my favorite shows of this year so far. They have some awesome stuff. And they do, like, things all the time. They're always busy doing these fun things. I really like KRUSH events. They're definitely worth watching and checking out. But, yeah, I think it does need to be a little bit more clear in terms of if this is a feeder league, at what point do you go up to K1? Or is this always going to be a separate thing? I don't really know. Because you remember Strikeforce Challengers? Like, okay, so you fight on the Challenger Series, but it was never made clear when you were supposed to move to Strikeforce. You remember that? There was like no clear of like, so you're the champion, but I guess you just stay in Strikeforce Challengers. That's kind of the end of it. But yeah, same thing here of like this, maybe make it a little bit more clear what's going on. But KRUSH fighters are amazing. Like Leona Patas was a KRUSH champion and he'll be fighting later this year. Look at that segue. In the K1 Grand Prix 2022 featherweight, this will be on September 11th. We have 4 Japanese fighters versus 4 international fighters, and this is going to be a really fun event. I'll do a quick rundown on a few of these guys. So you have Leona Patas, who was the KRUSH World Champion, who had one of the fights of the year versus Takeru. Just absolutely lovely stuff. You have Hiroki Asahisa, who was a champion while he was competing in China in Wu Ling Feng. You have Bailey Sugden from the UK and was just recently won an ISCA championship this year. You have Nakarob Fairtex, who was a stadium fighter in Muay Thai and is best known for getting head kick knocked out by Batman. And then you also have people like Ayub Sagiri, Adam, and some other folks. But yeah, it should be a really fun tournament. That's coming up September 11th. What are your thoughts on this, Mr. Cuttino?
All right, so first off, man, we got to let the people know. We got to remember, the reason why this tournament is happening is because Takura gave up his belts after the match, so they're basically fighting for, one of his titles. Yeah. I'm actually just happy to see Bailey Sugden in there, man. Like I said, fan of his, known from Glory, out there in the UK, doing this thing. So I'm a little biased.
He was a Glory, what was like Glory Challengers or Road to Glory champion? I forget what the kind of like feeder show was called, but he was a champion in that, I believe.
Yeah, he's won a tournament for them, but I mean, I've seen him fight a few times and everything like that, but I'm a little biased. I'm gonna rock with Bailey Sugden. Let's go with some international flavor. Like I said, man, his whole family, is a bunch of fighters. Like I said, I think his oldest brother. I think he's doing well in boxing while he the baby boy is doing kickboxing. I think his other brother, I think in the middle, he was doing MMA actually. So basically, like all 3 of them are just a bunch of fighters.
Man, that's awesome. The UK family. Man, it's weird how much talent there is coming out from the UK in Muay Thai and kickboxing. Like it's one of those countries that you never think of, and like there's some amazing fighters coming out of this island. Because I can tell you from talking to people in public, no one knows anything about Muay Thai here. Like it is not even an underground sport. It is below whatever an underground sport is. So to produce this much talent when no one cares about it, it's kind of a major surprise. But yeah, I can't pick you have never been wrong when you pick major upsets. You were right about Super Bond. You were right about a bunch of others, like major upsets. It's when we actually like break down the fight and look at technicalities that you and I are wrong, like tension to carry. Yeah. When you pick major upsets, you're right. So maybe Sugden will win the tournament.
I'm just gonna rock with him, man. Like I said, it's been a minute. Like I said, I've always been a fan of his, when he was in Glory. So yeah. I mean, I would love it if he could come back to Glory. But again, of course, I mean, we are gonna talk about it later on. But it's like, what is Glory doing with their featherweight division? Because their champ is always in another division, but.
Their champion, I believe, has now fought in the last couple of years, has not fought in Glory, but has taken fights in Rise. And yet they're not quite Glory rivals events. They're just kind of allowing their fighters to fight.
Rise, yep.
When he shows up to these fights, like, is he waving the Glory flag? Is he wearing the belt? Or is he just like a fighter who is a Glory champion, but he's just a fighter? Like, how is this? What is the benefit of Glory doing this? Keeping their fighter busy, but like, do they get some pop from this? Like, what's going on?
I mean, I think it's just that people know, hey, he's a Glory champion. I'm sure when they announce him, they say, hey, Glory featherweight champion. So, but that's what it is, because I think he's going for their belt. I think he's fighting their champion the same night or the next day as Glory 81.
Let me bring up, and he's going to be fighting. Is that Glory? I'm sorry, is that Rise 161?
No, it's a different thing. It's a different day because it's before it. It's before it because what Glory 81 is August 21st. I think he's fighting like the 22nd.
Yeah, man, it's a weird thing, isn't it? And he's rematching the guys again. Stop me when I'm wrong, but he's rematching the gentleman that he's already beat. I'm just gonna be typing furiously for a minute. Hold with it. Everyone who knows what's going on is yelling at the screen right now.
Yeah. We're not because I think before it wasn't for a title, but now I think this is a title fight.
What is the benefit of Rise? Like, why do they want to see Kento get beat up over and over? Because that was one of the first fights that you and I talked about on the broadcast, was the Kento Haraguchi versus Petch fight. And it wasn't a really close fight, was it? Like, Petch is clearly the better fighter. What is the benefit for Rise of beat up our champion again? What is this? What is going on?
I think it's I think it's prestige, it's name, it's pop, publicity. Like you say, it is for their super lightweight title. Saying because it's just called Rise World Series Osaka.
Yeah,
that's the name of the show. So,
but yeah, I mean, I love it. More kickboxing crossover is what you and I have always asked for. We've been consistent on that messaging. It just it is weird.
I was gonna say, I feel like this show is like a cross, or more like international flavor in this show, because if you look at the card, you got people from was it Slovakia? Is that what it is? SVN in Japan, Australia's on here, Thailand's on here. So it's like I feel like they're not just trying to have it be a Japan show, like they're trying to get more international people out here on these cards. You even got a Chile. Oh shoot, I forgot my boy Ivan Galaz is on here. Yeah. I know him. I seen him fight in New York a couple of times. Yeah, he's going up against a dude from the Philippines. So that's definitely a fight to look out for, you guys, on that card too. I think it's the first fight of the night. But my boy Ivan Galaz, man, he's a banger. He brings it.
Man, it's gonna be fun. And you and I, this is just coming up. Is this August? What day is that?
August. I think it's like I guess my time. It's the next day, but it is supposed to be on the 21st, because I know it's supposed to be like, oh, Glory is happening, and then like the next day is their show. But that's usually how it goes, where it's like, oh, you got to stay up late, but it's like their time.
August 21st for all those countries who are not American, which is the only people who really matter. Anyway, so let's move on to Rise 161 featherweight title match. This is going to be a week later on August 28th, was announced, and we have Yasunari Ume versus Kasuke Kaduk. Man, I can read it just fine, but I can never say it. Anyway, Brandon, you had some thoughts on this upcoming Rise 161 announcement. Tell us some more what we can expect to see here.
Yeah, to me, I think this is a banger right here. I think this I said banger alert right here, man. If you look at the photo, man, you're looking at two dudes, two different colored hairs, man. You know it's gonna be some wild stuff out here. I'm sure you're gonna see some power, you're gonna see some speed, you're gonna probably see some spinning techniques. But I mean, early thoughts is I think the champ is going to keep his belt. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised though if the challenger got the job done as well, because I'm saying like he's vicious as well. But I think either way, fans, you're going to be happy. It's a good fight.
Yeah, a banger alert. That's just what we all want. That's going to be Rise 161 on August 28th. It's actually, we had a bit of a slow month just kind of in July there with a few major items here and there, but looking pretty busy for the next little while here. The end of July and August, like we have Rise 160, we have KRUSH 139, we have Rise 37, we have coming up K1, the K1 World Grand Prix 2022. That's going to be on August 11th. Glory 81, the Rise World Series on the 21st, and then Rise 161 on the 28th. This is going to be quite a month for you and I.
Yeah, man. They basically took off July, took a break, and I was like, hey, it's August, September. Let's get it going.
Absolutely. And I promise we would mention Enfusion. So buckle the hell up. The former multi-divisional Enfusion champion, Andy Semler, is making his long-awaited I believe this is his debut in Glory officially, right? He is now a Glory fighter officially. He is making his way to the title, and he will have his first fight against a one-time Enfusion contender and former WKO world champion, Robin Kurek. This man, Semler, is going to get that title. I have no doubt about it. Kurek is just a man in the way for Andy Semler to consume. What do you make of this matchup? What do you see here?
Hey man, I'm happy that Andy Semler is finally getting the chance to fight. You know, they say he was supposed to fight at the original Glory Rivals fight, but you know, whatever happened. I'm kind of surprised that they just didn't want to run it back with Harut, but maybe he's injured or something, you know, or maybe he's away, you know, so he couldn't, you know, fight at that date. But I mean, that's still a fight that I'm definitely interested in. But again, like Andy Semler, he's the guy, you know, like I said, multi division champ, you know, and like I said, man, he's a long guy. He's got reach, you know, so I think this will be a banger of a fight as well, man. Another banger alert.
I was wondering about Harut as well, because I think that they really do understand that Andy Semler is a future champion in a division where we have a vacant title. Gregorian is ranked like top 5. If you put him against Gregorian, you can make a very easy argument to put him into a title shot against like Hamicha, or it really does look like Jay Overmere, because I think Hamicha had a hand injury for most of this year. But yeah, that welterweight division is looking quite fun at this point. This is going to be a good one for the next little while. You guys like Harut Gregorian, you got Andy Semler in there, Hamicha, just like I said. Jay Overmere probably keeps winning for the rest of the year. But yeah, I'm not really sure who you match up. Like Hamicha has to get in there, but man, it's a fun division, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I could be where that saying Amicha, I know I think he has an injury. That's why I know he's out. Yeah. But I think when he's healthy, I want to say he's automatically in for a title fight. You know, just like Plazibat is. In the heavyweight division.
Average fight time for Hamicha 1 minute and 50 seconds in Glory.
Also too, I was gonna say. So again, Robin Surik.
Yeah,
is he not an Enfusion fighter?
He just fought for an Enfusion title, didn't he?
Exactly. So is it again? We're gonna find out where he's gonna come out in the interview and be like, "Hey, I'm a Glory fighter now." Because again, that's what happened with Andy Semler when he was fighting Harut. I was like, "Oh, all right, Glory versus Enfusion." The next thing you know, he does an interview and he's like, "Oh, I'm a Glory fighter. I fight for Glory now." So that's what I'm saying. I see this. When I saw it, I was like, okay, is this Glory versus Enfusion, or is he gonna come out and say I'm a Glory fighter as well?
Glory Rivals 2 will be the official name of this event. We will have nothing but glory against those damn Enfusion fighters. And it's just like, yeah, that's an Enfusion fighter versus another Enfusion fighter. You and I have been so consistent in our messaging that Enfusion acts like a feeder league, and it's not. Glory is running events headlined by 2 Enfusion fighters. Like, Enfusion is so good. You got to watch Enfusion because it is all the top talent in the world. And they have deep divisions. But yeah, I know what you're saying of like, it's just labeling and messaging. I know.
That's why now I'm just like, yo, is Surik now in the Glory? Like, I mean, should we go to the website and look for him in the division, and like he'll be right there now when they go by fighters by weight class? Is he on there now? Because that's what happened with Semler. It was like no, I don't fight for Enfusion anymore. I'm a Glory fighter now. I'm like,
yeah, and that's how they framed it. They framed it the other way of like, here's our newest signing, Andy Semler. We're so proud of Glory. We're so proud of signing him, and we're gonna have him fight representing Enfusion against a Glory fight. It was always funny, and I know it's semantics. I get it. It's not that important, but it just looks silly sometimes, you guys. But yeah, so this one is 2 Enfusion fighters. Previously, it was 2 Glory fighters headlining it, but whatever. We'll see what happens.
I'm just saying, man. Like I just feel like saying like next thing you know, you're gonna see that Surik is now a Glory fighter. He's in the weight class, and yeah, like Enfusion is just, having people that are high up be like, all right, let's now send you over to Glory, but We shall see. Like, I mean, I mean, like the rest of this card though is good. Like, I'm definitely looking forward to that welterweight fight between Van de Ant versus Van Belskin. That should be a banger of a fight. And then also too, the light heavyweight fight. Man, I'm probably gonna butcher this name, but it's Brunswick versus Bali. I think that should be. I think those are two good ones right there.
Oh yeah, no, these kickboxing cards always deliver. Like, there is no gamble that it will have a boring fight on it. The kickboxing cards always deliver, and those fights are gonna just stick right out. I love this kind of stuff. Developing the sport even more. This is just beautiful work. Oh, and the date on that one, that was coming up later this year on September 17th. Glory Rivals 2 will be the official name of it. It'll be streamed on Videoland if you're in the Netherlands. I'm sure they have a location set already, but I'm not entirely sure of. Oh, at the excuse my Dutch. At the D Mint in Alkmaar, Netherlands. Nailed it. I know, that was correct.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it. Kickboxing for the last couple of weeks, but going forward, there's so much fun stuff going on. Brandon, anything else we need to cover off before we head out of here?
Yeah, just one more thing. Robbie Timmers, I'm still waiting. I just want you to know, they put this card out. I still haven't seen my boy Muhammad Jiraiya on anything yet. So I'm just saying, October 8th, Collision, your boy is still available. I'm just saying, I got nothing happening so far right now. Hey, I'm back in the training. I just renewed my passport. So I'm just saying, October 8th, if you need a dancing partner for the Destroyer, just let you know the mechanic is always in the garage sharpening his tools. All right.
Those, man, if you go to any Instagram that has Muhammad Jiraiya on it, the comments are insane of it. It's like, man, get Cuttino in there. Where's Brandon Cuttino at? It is madness, isn't it? Go to any like glory of like, hey, this is Muhammad Jiraiya. Come hang out. Every comment is you.
Hey, the tune-up crew is out, baby. Just letting you know. I'm just letting you know, guys. Just saying, Glory, saying Robbie Timmers. I'm available if you need somebody for the Destroyer. Just saying, if nobody else is stepping up, hey, 70 kilos, I'm available. Just saying.
Awesome stuff. All right, and make sure to check out the Fighters First shop to support the show, support the network, support Brandon, support Tim. Any last words, or are we good to go?
No, man, we're good to go. Just remember, guys, like, subscribe, comment, please. Like saying, we love it when you guys interact with us, leaving comments. And of course, remember, you can follow us on social media. You know, saying I'm B Cuttino TSMA on Instagram, on Twitter. And then, of course, you know, you got Tim on Instagram and Twitter as well at Tim Wheaton MMA. So saying, please follow us there as well. And like saying, feel free, comment. You know, we love interacting. Like I said, there are some things that we might not know about. If maybe there's an event that you want us to cover, or there's a subject that you want us to talk about, you know, let us know. Like I said, I did do that one time in the Discord where I kind of put it out there, and you know I did get some things back. I forgot to do it this time, but hey, maybe next time if I forget, you know, hey, just message us, let us know if there's a topic you want us to talk about.
Absolutely, Brandon. Appreciate your time so much, and we'll see you in 2 weeks, man.